You're a podcast listener, and this is a podcast ad. Reach great listeners like yourself with podcast advertising from Lips and Ads. Choose from hundreds of top podcasts offering host endorsements, or run a reproduced ad like this one across thousands of shows to reach your target audience with Lips and Ads. Go to lipsandads.com now. That's LIBSYN ads.com.
Hey, it's Kim Commando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to commando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it.
Some sad news.
What happened?
And I hate starting a podcast with sad news.
Well, don't. Tell us good news.
Chuck E. Cheese, they're pulling the plug on Munch's Make Believe Band.
I don't know. I know those are all words, but I don't know what any of those mean when you put them together.
It's the animatronic robots.
The robots?
That have terrified children for decades.
That's the reason why you go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Do you know what the E stands for?
Chuck E. Entertainment?
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Good guess.
So they are pulling the plug on the band.
I don't think they've ever worked. Anytime I've ever taken my children, which is a very limited amount of times, because we have full pizza, we play a couple of games, and then we get sick. The band's always been broken.
Well, 400 locations are going to be replaced with, they say, digital dance floors.
Oh, so kids run up. The kids will like that even more.
Yes,
run up
exactly.
on stage, do some TikTok dances, and get out of there. Okay.
Oh, you know what? I think I've been to a Chuck E. Cheese maybe twice in my life.
Was it birthday parties?
Yeah, it was just awful. It was just awful. But Barry, my husband, he's got a pile of grandchildren. You know that.
He does, the gaggle. It's a full gaggle.
I mean, and every day there's like another one that just pops out.
And they're like all girls.
They are. They are. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just like every other day there's like a new grandchild.
And my daughter loves them. She talks about them all the time. Because we went over to a Christmas party and she's her new friends, and then she invited herself back to your house the following year so she could play with her friends.
So cute. But you know what? There are a pile of them, but they're all great kids. They're all just great kids. So we had them over for pizza and a movie night. And so I looked at them and I said, okay, kids, so what kind of pizza do you want? And they're like, we don't really care, but we want, and then, Henry's like, I want pepperoni. He's like the one boy, pepperoni.
I have opinions.
Yes, I care. It matters to me. I'm not wearing a dress. Okay. And then I said, what kind of movie you want to watch? And then they all decided what kind of movie, I don't know, some Frozen thing or something like that.
Right.
And then I said, okay, well, here's the deal. I'm going to teach you about democracy.
Oh, okay.
I said, so we're going to watch, I don't know, The Incredibles.
Okay.
And we're only going to have cheese pizza. And Elle looked at me. She's like, why is that? I said, this is democracy. The person with the money gets to make all the decisions.
That's a lesson to be learned right there.
And then Barry's looking at me like, what?
These are grandbabies. You're supposed to spoil them.
I started laughing and then kind of moved on. But on that happy note, welcome. It's Kim Commando Today. Hi. I'm Kim Commando, America's beloved digital goddess. Have to throw that in there.
Why not?
Because the trademark.
A little branding.
Exactly. And this is not the Kim Commando Show.
Nope.
Okay. For the Kim Commando Show, you can find it on your local radio station because we're on, 425 stations, and we have a 98% footprint across the United States.
Pretty good chance you'll be able to find the show.
Exactly. And you can also find it on Apple and as well as Spotify, commercial free. But Kim Commando Today is a little bit different because, people ask me that.
All the time.
All the time. And I just say, we just talk.
I was driving around town yesterday. Someone in a Skywriter wrote in the sky, hey, Kim, quick question. What's the difference between the Kim Commando Show and Kim Commando Today?
I told you that.
All the time they're asking you.
Everywhere I go. Well, we get to have some fun here because after all, you're not on the show.
No, I'm not allowed to be.
No, I mean, Andrew Babinski.
Yes.
Are you really Irish?
Very. Super Irish.
I think that Babinski is the one.
It's very Mick Babinski is what it used to be.
Oh, Babinski.
When my family came over on the boat, they just dropped the O. No, Polish.
I knew that.
Look at his nose. That's Polish.
Do you like pierogies?
I think I've had it one time in my entire life. I can't even recall if I like it or not.
Oh, Millie's pierogies from Boston. You got to have them shipped in one
You
day.
eat those?
Well, I'll have like a taste.
Okay, I was going to say. I didn't know they made pierogies stuffed with tuna and kelp.
Kelp. It's kale.
Oh, yeah.
You dope. What do you have coming up?
We have a story of an art installation in New York that went horribly wrong because people are awful.
Really? In
Awful.
New York?
Yes. It's not just, it's globally. People are awful globally.
Oh, I see.
They were awful in Dublin, Ireland as well.
Stephanie Liberatore is going to be joining us.
Mm-hmm.
And she is my editor at the Daily Mail. And, when we are, talking about stories and things like that, she has an interesting story to tell us.
Okay.
It's just fascinating. I'm not going to say anything more about it. And then later on, now, if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, just know that we do play some videos and we will try to explain to you what is happening in the videos. But if you ever want to see the videos, that's where you have to go to where the videos are shown. And that would be on
youtube.com/Kim Commando.
Oh, yes. All right. Oh, wait, one more thing. Winfromkim.com.
That's it.
We're giving
There's
away
one more thing. Win from Kim. A website.
We're giving away a brand new iPhone 15.
Can I, before you go into the 5 things,
What?
Can I complain to you for a second?
About what?
On Monday,
Yeah.
we talked about the new ChatGPT.
Yes.
ChatGPT 4.0,
Yes.
which is dumb. I don't understand it. I don't know why they did it. It's dumb. But you said it was free.
Yes.
I went over to my normal ChatGPT bookmark, and it says 3.5 in the upper corner. Then there's a little arrow. So I click on the arrow. Oh, there's 4.0. $20 a month.
Oh, are they charging?
Yes.
It says free for everyone.
It is not free.
Is it free in the app?
I mean, that may be. But on the website, they wanted my money if I wanted to use 4.0.
Oh, it must be in the app that's free because they say it's free to use and everybody.
I wrote him a letter and I said, I saw on the Kim Commando Today podcast, not the radio show. Those are different. If you have any questions, please ask. That it was free and it's not. And I was so aggravated.
What? See, because we have a corporate account. And so we do pay for it.
So you thought it was free because you already were paying for it?
No. Because I read a press release. It said it was free for everybody.
Okay.
So
okay.
it must be free through the app.
Okay, I'll have to try it that way.
Speaking of this, top 5 things you need to know about tech that's happening right now. And we're going to start with OpenAI.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you just have to.
It's cool.
I mean, it is incredible. I mean, everybody was talking about, and we were talking about it here on the show too, like, oh, it's going to be a new type of search. No. This is, it is a life changer.
It's the most human artificial intelligence that I've ever seen. Really. Of all the platforms that we've been using over the last couple of years, the things they're doing with the new ChatGPT, it's so human.
I mean, it's amazing, but it's also pretty dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of alarming.
Right.
It's a little shocking.
I used it actually today. I was writing a script for a commercial and I didn't like the verbiage. And I used one of your tips that you'd given me to prompt ChatGPT with what you want it to be.
Like be a copy editor.
Correct.
Expert.
So I said, ChatGPT, I need you to think like a marketer. And it responds with, all right, cool. I'm ready to go. Let's sell something. What project are we working on? It was so cool.
It's actually like you have a person.
Right. And I think that's their goal.
Yeah, it is. Did you see the video with the dog?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here, just in case you haven't.
I want to introduce you to somebody.
Well, hello there, cutie. What's your name, little fluff ball?
This is Bowser.
Well, hello, Bowser. Aren't you just the most
Now, in case you're
little
listening,
thing?
the guy talking
Look at you,
has his phone up
This
and he's
is one of his favorite
doing like a
things to
FaceTime
do.
call.
Oh, well, I
Showing
can
her the
see
dog.
why.
And
Look at that
ChatGPT
focus.
recognizes it's a
But
dog,
you caused this serious business for Bowser.
recognizes that the dog has a toy, recognizes that the dog is cute. Now, what if the dog wasn't cute? What if it was like some sort of hairless cat? Would the ChatGPT be like, oh, that's an interesting looking animal?
Okay. It's like if you see an ugly baby.
Mm-hmm.
You don't say that the baby's ugly.
No, you just say it looks like the father. That's what
Yes.
you normally say.
It reminds me of when Ian was going to school, elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
One of the moms just had a brand new baby. And I looked at the baby and I said, oh, okay. I mean, like the baby's like, like a week old. I said, oh, baby's beautiful. She's like, no, she's not. She's ugly. And I said, no, their baby is really beautiful.
Was it ugly?
No.
Oh,
And I said, no, the baby's beautiful. She looks at me, she goes, no, you don't need to say the baby's beautiful because I am the baby's mother. The baby is ugly.
Why so harsh to your own child?
And I said, no, the baby's beautiful. And she said, what she makes up in looks, she sleeps all night, so I guess she'll be okay. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so awful.
What a bad person.
The web is dead. I mean, I've been saying this forever, and you keep saying, well, I'm going to go to WebMD.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to WebMD?
No, I'm not.
The web is dead.
Now, what is your prediction on when it'll be officially dead? When there's going to be news articles of websites closing, businesses no longer making money because they can't operate online?
It's going to happen within 6 months.
Oh, that's fast.
Yeah. I mean, it's gone. It's dead. And think about everything that goes along with it. Search engine optimization, web marketing companies.
Correct.
All the apps that enable websites, WordPress, people that have made their career with Google Analytics. I mean, it's very, very far reaching. I mean, and I was having a conversation with Ian yesterday about this. And he said, because he's saying like, maybe I should get a master's or, because he's thinking still about like law school and all this other stuff. And I said, what would you get a master's in? He said, well, maybe an MBA. I said, dead.
What? Why is an MBA dead?
Dead. Okay. You think that you're going to be learning business administration? You don't think that all this AI is going to change that? I mean, if you are in the market for a higher education, you just have to look at AI. Just figure out AI.
But just a couple of weeks ago, I told you that's where I'm going to have my kids focus on AI. And you said, well, by the time they're older, they're going to be dead.
No, AI is going to be something tremendously different.
Okay.
I mean, what we see now, think about what we just saw with that dog and the video that we're going to play at the end. Okay. Think as if that was the iPhone in 2007 and what we have today.
Correct. And that's not a big gap. That's just, 13, 17 years or whatever.
Right. So when your kids are in the workplace,
it's all going to be different.
Okay. And then Google says, oh, this is item number 2. Google says, okay, we have our big AI announcement.
Yeah, they went a day later.
Yes. Gemini 1.5 Pro, there's now ways that in your email, Gmail's a big one. And of course, they had some other AI stuff going on. But what's going to affect us immediately is Gmail. Is that now they're going to summarize all your email. You can ask Gemini, I got 3 bids for my roof. And can you tell me the differences between the 3? Just look at my attachments. So, so this is like some practical use right now.
But now is the AI going to be capturing all of that personal information?
Yes.
And then using it into a database?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, so Google is now struggling. Google's sitting there saying, holy crap. I mean, think about 10 years ago. Would we have ever said like, oh, what's going to replace Google? It's never going to happen. People would say never.
I don't know. See, I agree that a lot of people said that. But when we said that about like MySpace, when MySpace sold for $10 billion or whatever it was. And we're like, well, this is the biggest social media ever. And nothing replaced it. Then Facebook came along. Well, now this is the big, and then Instagram came along. So I think we're learning that these big or bigger than big companies, even Apple's struggling right now with sales.
Apple must be crapping in their pants right now.
So I think we do realize that these things are kind of flash in the pans. You get about 15 to 20 years and then you're done.
I mean, Apple has their big worldwide developers conference in about 3 weeks. And that's when they always announce all the new software, all the new hardware. What do you think Tim Cook is doing right now?
Trying to figure out how to make sure every part of the presentation includes AI.
Yes. I think in I saw the number, Google's AI presentation yesterday, they mentioned AI, like 155 times or something like that.
So what about all the add-ons that Google has? Is ChatGPT going to try and grow and have all those add-ons as well?
Yep.
Will they separate them like Google does? Where it's Google Maps and Google this and Google that. It'll all just be right under the same umbrella of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
All right.
And think of all the little websites that are going to go away too. I mean, people that sell things.
But you're building a website?
Yeah. But it's a necessary thing for right now. And it's different. It's not going to be your standard website.
Okay.
It looks more like a social media site.
Okay.
When you see it rolled out, it's with like little nuggets of information. So if it's kind of like when you're scrolling in TikTok or Instagram or something, that's kind of the thought process behind it, that you'll go here and you can scroll to learn.
It'll look like a feed more than a traditional website. Okay.
Exactly. But meanwhile, back here down at Earth, Windows 11, if you didn't get the big old patcheroo, you want to make sure that you do that. Came out this past week, Tuesday, as a matter of fact, the other day. That would be yesterday. Okay. I do so much. I lose track of days. I do.
I'm just glad you caught up with yourself.
It's like, it's because my brain goes 8,000 miles an hour. So annoying. So annoying. Anyway, they say that there's a fix that would cause VPN connections to fail. If you're on your iPhone, this is item number 3 and 4, is that you want to make sure that you get the latest patch 17.5 because Apple and Google got together, KISSING. Yes, in a tree.
And a little baby.
They finally got their act together so that if you're on Android and I'm on Apple and you're trying to track me with an AirTag, that I'm going to get alerted to that.
Okay.
And vice versa. So now they're all working together. So make sure that you get the latest version of Android and iOS.
Are they going to combine? Is this like, are we 2 years away from a merger where Alphabet buys Apple?
I don't think that would happen.
I mean, that would be a monopoly.
For sure.
They wouldn't allow that.
For sure. And we're just going to kick off the last item, number 5, talking about free food.
I love free food.
Wendy's is now every Wednesday, is that you can get a free 6-piece pack of chicken nuggets.
What do you have to do to get it?
You have to become a Wendy's Rewards member.
Okay.
And then make any purchase on the mobile app on Wednesdays, and then you get a free 6-piece gross chicken nugget.
Why are you bringing this up as the number 5 item?
Because I know that people would really like to have that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and it's not just Wendy's. On Wednesdays, McDonald's has free fries Friday. Okay, I want you to say that 3 times fast.
Free fries Friday. Free fries Friday. Free fries Friday.
That was really good.
Well, I'm a broadcaster.
Free fries.
But here's my question. Yes. Are all of they doing this? They're giving you free fries. They got to get something in return. And what they want is they want you to sign up for the app so they can have all your data.
Exactly.
And then are they going to do what 23andMe did, is bundle all that data together and sell it to China for $10 billion?
Probably.
Okay.
Right.
So your Wendy's chicken nuggets and your free fries.
Okay, but the free fries, you have to get on the McDonald's app. You make any $1 purchase, and then you get a free medium order of fries. Now, the cheapest item on the Mickey D's menu is a cookie.
Is it $1?
Yeah. So you can get a cookie and get free fries.
Right there. That's
perfect lunch.
Yes, exactly. It's a balanced diet.
And finally, there's Dunkin' Donuts. If you download the Dunkin's Rewards app, you get a free medium drink with any.
All right. What, no day? No,
no.
Dunkin' Tuesdays or Saturday freebies?
No, but this is, this is a deal that you do not want to pass.
I didn't know it was coming until the pause. When the pause happened, I knew we were ready for a bad joke.
Oh, wasn't that great? It was fabulous.
If you've ever wanted to learn a new language, make 2024 the year with Babbel. Babbel's 10-minute lessons are perfect for those learning on a tight schedule. Each lesson is handcrafted by their experts and based on real-life conversations. Babbel's tips and tools make it easy for anyone to start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. I recently took a trip to Japan. Before I signed up with Babbel, so I was able to say hello, konnichiwa, thank you, arigato, and the very important, where's the bathroom? Tori dewa doko desu ka? So fun, so easy. Right now, Babbel has an exclusive limited-time deal just for my listeners. Get up to 60% off your subscription at Babbel.com/Kim. That's right, Commando listeners get up to 60% off. Just visit Babbel.com/Kim. That's Babbel. Babbel.com/Kim. Rules and restrictions may apply. Babbel.com/Kim. Don't miss the 60% off deal. Babbel.com/Kim.
Hey, it's Kim Commando today. It's your fun podcast about all things digital. And this is just a reminder. We want you to like,
comment, share,
Yes.
follow, subscribe.
Send us money.
Well,
you know what? We don't have that option. We should have that option.
You can't just put a Cash App at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, donate.
No, you can just watch. Don't push them that hard.
Why?
Because we want to provide them with the service, and we'll have others pay us through advertising.
Do you see any advertisers here?
Well, we got to build the audience, and that's why we need them to comment, like, and share, so the algorithm thinks we're important, pushes it out to more people, and then we start getting advertisers.
Oh, you know what? Somebody started on Reddit.
What did they start?
A subreddit that's Commando.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it just happened this past week.
How many pictures of your feet are on there?
Maybe I should put a picture.
I was like, I can do it by this afternoon if you'd like.
Why do you have them? That's weird.
No, I can take them. I'm right in front of you.
I thought that was like a strange thing. That's kind of icky. I mean, we're like brother and sister, and you got pictures of my feet?
I don't have any pictures of your feet.
You're not doing weird crap with that picture.
That you know I took. I don't have any. I have the internet. I actually freeze frame some of the videos to see if you're a man or not.
That's still out there. I don't understand that. How can people think that I trans? I mean, what happened?
You just have a deeper voice. That's all. It's not even that deep. Oh.
I mean, okay, they're cupcakes.
Yeah, they're not
Minis.
Watermelons, but they're there and they're real. They're yours.
They're mine, and I'm owning them.
She's a woman. That was a callback to a guy who wrote in a note to Kim saying that he knows that she used to be a man.
Yes. He knows that.
He took screenshots of one of the podcasts and zoomed in on her Adam's apple in her hands.
I don't have an Adam's apple.
Oh, he was insane.
Gosh. All right. So you have two lovely children.
Yes. A little 6-year-old Wheezy and a 10-year-old Francis.
When you were happily married, before you weren't and found lovely Hannah.
Right. There's no Hannah. Her name's Jennifer. Thank God she's not watching today. You can say what you want. She's working. Excellent.
Did she finally get a job? Oh, that face.
The amount of trouble you get me in. You have no idea. All right. So when I was happily married, you mean when my kids were younger?
Yes.
Yeah.
Screen time?
Yeah. I was pro screen time. I was pro making them one with technology. I thought it's the future. And, you look at someone who's in their 70s, or my in-laws, I call them my in-laws. They'll call me and say, hey, can you come over and install a driver? Can you help me set up my email client? Because they didn't grow up with it. My children are integrated with technology.
I don't remember the last time I installed a driver.
When they had printer problems and I had to update the drivers so the printer could communicate with their computer that was built in the 90s.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So the kiddos, how old were they?
Francis was 4, probably when I let him start playing games and looking at stuff on an iPad. And then Eloise just wanted to be like her big brother. So it was younger for her, probably 2.5, 3, where she could use a tablet.
And see, and I when Ian was small, we had the Wii, Xbox. So when Ian was about 3, that's when I gave him his first smartwatch.
Okay.
But it wasn't really a smartwatch like we have today.
Yeah.
It was a watch that made phone calls. And it was like super expensive. It was like $70 a month.
Yeah, because that's got to be like, 18 years ago?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. And so, but it had 3 buttons. It had mom, dad, and grandma. And that was it.
Right.
But I felt good that he had that. I also...
But that was more of a safety and security thing, not a want them to lean on technology thing.
Well, I'll admit, I would pick him up from school and then I'd throw on something on TV for him to watch. I mean, that's a screen, right? I would let him play on his laptop. I mean, because I'm working. Got to get things done. Okay? Now, our guest on today's Kim Commando today is Stacy Liberatore. She's the Deputy Science and Technology Editor at dailymail.com. Now, Stacy has made an amazing choice. Now, think about this. This is a woman who's in charge of the science and tech section at dailymail.com.
Right. So she's involved in the world.
Right. She knows tech. But she and her husband have decided no screen time for their little cherub.
All right. They have one child?
Yes.
Okay.
So far. So joining us now is Stacy. Hi, Stacy.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
We're great. We're great. So,
Hi, Andrew.
Hey.
So when did you decide no screen time?
My husband and John and I decided even before our little Amelia was born. We just decided no screen time. I will say that we do let her watch television, but it's limited television, and it's usually just educational shows. She does watch about 2 shows that aren't education related.
What are her go-tos? I just want to know.
What is it? She likes Minnie Mouse, and she likes the
Bluey? Is it Bluey?
Teen Titans.
Oh,
Teen
okay.
Titans Go.
Oh, wow. Thought for sure there was going to be a Bluey in there.
Bluey's so huge.
You know what? Why didn't we come up with Bluey?
I don't know. We'd be billionaires. We wouldn't be sitting here if we came up with Bluey, that's for sure.
We would still
I like
be
it
sitting
more than she does.
And so how old is Amelia now?
She just turned 2 in February.
Okay. Now tell us about the plane rides.
So we went to visit, my sister lives in Colorado, and we went over Thanksgiving, and we don't do, no iPad, no smartphones. So we got coloring books, finger puppets, these little busy books that they have with like all little like ties in them and things like that. And on the way there, she fell asleep instantly. I was like, this is great. We have, a miracle child on our hands. But on the way back, she just would not fall asleep. So she was crying, and she didn't want to sit in her seat. And it was probably one of the times I wish I had a tablet.
Would you, if you had one, would you have handed it to her?
No. I know. No. Because of my parents who were sitting in front of us, they both had an iPad.
Oh, so you had the opportunity. Okay.
Yeah.
And so mom or dad, they didn't go like, Stacy, here, just give it to her. Just give it to her.
They weren't crying because they had their iPad.
I was just in the middle of like.
Does she want for tablets? Does she want for screen time?
It's interesting because she's never had one, yet she knows like to touch the screen. Like she'll pick up my phone and she'll go like this. And it's probably just from watching my husband and I do it. So, I mean, we don't have iPads in the house. Okay. So I think that kind of helps the fact that she doesn't, yearn for it.
Yeah, for sure. My husband, Stacy, we've talked about it here already on this podcast today. He just has a pile of grandchildren. Yes. He does. I mean, there's like, and every day there's like a new one that just shows up. I mean, I think, there's like one family has 6, another family has 12. I mean, something like that. Okay. And so Teresa comes over, and Teresa is, I think she's like 2-ish, 2.5-ish. And there's a magazine sitting there. And she starts doing the magazine with her fingers like it's a tablet. And I leaned over. I'm like, Teresa, here, let me show you. And she's like, oh, it turns.
That's cool too.
It's like, wow. And I guess, you don't realize what an effect that it might have on it. I'm sure you have like mom dates, play dates, dad dates with the kids. Have you noticed how your daughter's different than the other children?
Yeah. Amelia, she's very calm. She's a very chill baby. I mean, I know she's not a baby, but I always call her my baby. No matter where we go, she will just sit there calmly. And I mean, not that even if she is, energized or anything like that, obviously it wouldn't bother me, but she's just so much more chill than a lot of the other kids that I see. And she's so empathetic. She's very in tune to people, I've noticed.
And do you think that's a direct cause of not growing up so far with screens?
I do, because for instance, when we go out to dinner, she either has crayons or like an Etch-a-Sketch, those 1980s, 90s toys, yeah. Or my husband and I keep her in the conversation. So I feel like that's actually helped with her development, because she knows how to be in a social setting without having something distract her where she's more involved in the setting, if that makes sense.
And that's always a pet peeve of mine, Stacy, is that when I see parents out with their kids at restaurants and the kids have like the headphones on with the tablets in front of their face, I'm like, why didn't you just leave them home? I mean,
you can't sometimes because babysitters are expensive.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not interacting. You're not teaching them.
No,
anything.
That's true.
You're not teaching them like bread, meal, water, or
You teach me bread, meal, water?
BMW.
Oh.
Bread, meal, water.
Well, we can talk about that after the show.
You know what? I've been working with him forever, Stacy. You can only go so
I'm
far.
almost there. I'm almost there.
Almost.
Now, is there a point where you're going to allow her to use a tablet, use a screen?
Yeah, I think when she's about 5 years old, because I know, like, I'm not blind to the fact that this is the way of the world. This is the way of the land. You know, everything's going to be taught with iPads and things like that. So I obviously don't want her to be like the weird kid in school, like, oh, my mommy said I can't use it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, but she may be introduced to it prior, depending on what kind of schooling you look at. My daughter started pre-K, whatever they call that, when she was 4. And the minute she walks into school, there's a tablet. Her reading assignment is on a tablet. Her shapes and colors assignment is on a tablet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we've actually we would be sending to her like a more Montessori school.
Okay.
Where they don't do it in pre-K.
But it's going to be there. Yeah, you're right. At some point, it's going to be there.
At some point, and that's fine. And that's totally fine. It's just, being, a tech reporter, I've seen, countless studies where researchers find that it impacts their brain development.
I was just going to ask you. I was just going to ask you that. What studies did you base your decision on?
There's a study that it changes the shape of the brain between 3 and 5 on children who are exposed to, screens and such like that. It impacts their visual perceptions, long-term memory, their attention spans, empathy, things like that. So, I mean, obviously, I also think that this is all very new. I'm 40, my husband's 43, as you guys were older than the internet. So we didn't grow up with this stuff. So, it's all new. We don't really know the impacts that it's going to have. So these studies are starting to trickle out. But
now, do you think that this is a trend? And let me tell you why. My niece is 36 and he just turned 4. She's from Southern California. She married a guy in Lafayette, Indiana. Okay, for the first 7 years of their marriage, the only thing I heard from her was like, oh my God, I can't wait to get out of Lafayette, Indiana. I'm from Southern California. I'm a California girl.
Beach bum.
Yeah, what am I doing here in Lafayette, Indiana? I mean, I just fell in love with this guy. Okay, now when you talk to her, they bought a parcel of land. They're building a house. Little Owen is outside playing with tractors, having a garden. She's limiting screen time tremendously. And I just find it fascinating that the
pendulum.
Yes, how it just went from, A to Z here. And she's also anti-screen time. Do you think that this is a trend now with young mothers and dads?
I think it is. And I think it's just becoming, I think a lot of times, a lot of people who are screen free, like my husband and I and her, we're kind of scared to say something because people take it the wrong way. People think we're judging you if you do use screens, which is totally not the case. Or you're like, other people are like, well, you're not the first person to invent no screens. So I do think that there are a lot of parents out there because, I mean, I've seen kids who are given screens constantly. And when they don't have it, I mean, forget it. It's chaos.
It's like that toy brand, Melissa and Doug. I mean, they've made a gazillion. You don't know about Melissa and Doug?
I do. I don't buy their products.
Why?
I don't think they're quality.
Well, but, toys don't last forever anyway.
No, but I'm just not a fan.
Okay. Well, I think that they come up with innovative things for creative thought.
Okay.
And, look at that face you're giving me.
I think they're highly overpriced. They're cheap.
Okay, what you do, let me tell you where you buy Melissa and Doug.
Where?
Okay. You go to SaxOffFifthAvenue.com.
Okay.
And Melissa and Doug, because I know this because it's pile of grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that you go to SaxOffFifthAvenue.com and then you go to their toy section. Melissa and Doug, whenever at any given moment, is at least 70% off.
Okay, that's fine then. All right.
So aside from crayons and Etch-a-Sketch, are there any big hits for anybody who's watching, listening? They're like, okay, I've got a 2-year-old and I'm trying to figure out how to get them off the screens.
I mean, she doesn't really have the electronic toys either. So she's not exposed to a lot of like music, sound making toys and things like that. Like she has a little electric piano that she plays here and there. But I think just trying to limit the electronics and allowing them just to use their own imagination and their own creativity, I think they'll find a lot more enjoyment in that than having a toy or a tablet do it for them.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's an excellent point. So can I have a little shameless self-promotion here? I'm not good at that.
Your name's on the building. You can do whatever you want.
Is that I write for dailymail.com. I love it. It's a huge site. What is the traffic like at Daily Mail?
I mean, it's pretty big. It's pretty big. Not complaining.
Yeah. I mean, 20 a gazillion Facebook followers.
I'm there every day.
Are you?
Oh yeah. It's the first thing I do in the morning.
You know what? I do too. But I write for the Daily Mail.
I never see your stuff on the front page.
Stacy, how do we fix that?
Yeah, how do we fix that?
I know a few guys.
Good.
Okay. And so I
Ted
write
Daly and Mike Mail.
Yes.
She's go straight to the top.
And so if you but you can search for Commando.
Mm-hmm.
But so now there's a new weekly feature that we have. It's a question and answer. And we're going to start linking to it within the newsletters and good stuff like that. And then I write some really fantastic stories.
That you do.
And so you need to make me a regular part of your Daily Mail.
Yeah, I will. I will search Commando every single morning.
Hey, Stacy, thanks for being here. You look beautiful.
Thanks so much, Kim. Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much. Andrew, it was nice meeting you. Thank you.
You know, it also could be the opposite, though. My daughter's 6. She's been on a tablet since she was 2. She just took a gifted test and she scored a 99 percentile in verbal. And I think that has a lot to do with the right stuff that you put in front of your child if you are going to give them screen time. ABC Mouse, number blocks. There is tons of positive educational things.
But let me tell you something. You talk to Weezy like I do.
It's true.
I mean,
it is true.
And at some point, probably Weezy's going to say to you what Ian said to me when I think he was 12, said something like, I am not a 40-year-old guy. I'm 12.
Back off.
Yeah, exactly.
Did I tell you the chaos line?
No.
She was talking about something and she was like, that situation was chaotic. And the root word of chaotic is chaos. Do you know what chaos means, Dad? It's not good.
You're in trouble.
6.
In trouble.
All you want is to meet your security and compliance requirements. But your business technology keeps changing. Cyber threats emerge every day. More regulations apply to you now than ever before, and your IT resources remain limited. The Center for Internet Security can help. At CIS, we work to create a safer world for people, businesses, and governments through collaboration and innovation. Using a community-driven consensus process, we work with IT professionals and volunteers around the world to develop and maintain security best practices. These resources save you time, money, and effort wherever you are on your cybersecurity journey. We also work with U.S. state, local, tribal, and territorial government organizations to share information with one another so they're stronger together. Join us today in creating confidence in the connected world. Visit cisecurity.org to play your part.
Hey, it's Kim Commando today. It's your podcast about all things digital. And do us a huge favor. Make sure that you like, comment, share. And also don't forget to enter to win that brand new iPhone 15 because I already have one and Andrew can't win. So you might as well win. Go to winfromkim.com.
It's not fair.
Why is that not fair?
I like to win stuff. I like free stuff.
No, you can't win.
Fair enough.
Winfromkim.com. Winfromkim.com.
So there was an art installation in New York and in Dublin, Ireland.
You know what? I saw this, not in person, obviously.
Right.
I thought it was, what a great idea. That was just phenomenal.
They opened a portal. It was a portal to connect Dublin, Ireland and New York. And it was a live stream. I mean, it looked like something from a sci-fi video, but it was a live streaming video where the participants on either side could interact in real time. They could say hi to each other. And there were some cool moments. There was a proposal when it first opened up.
Oh, you're kidding.
Nope. And then there was old friends reuniting. They hadn't seen each other in person. Obviously, it's not in person, but they hadn't seen each other in years and they reunited. And then they closed it down.
Well, so You have to back up. So it's like a real-time FaceTime call.
Yeah, it's made to look like a portal, but it's just a video conferencing.
Right.
And like I said, it was an art installation on connecting these two, because you've seen a sci-fi movie where it's like a portal to another dimension.
Right.
And people will be able to interact in real time, but people are awful, and so they had to shut it down. It started out, they started flipping each other off. Then they started cursing each other out. Then they started mooning each other.
Oh, gosh.
Then they started flashing each other. And then, remember, this is connecting New York and Dublin, Ireland. Someone gets in front of the portal in Dublin and opens up a huge picture of the World Trade Center to show the people in New York.
Okay.
So they shut it down.
Okay.
Days in, this experiment was closed. They're trying to figure out a way to reopen it so it will be, not for awful people, but I don't know if there's a way to do it.
Well, we have the video from the OnlyFans.
Yes. I haven't seen the OnlyFans.
There she goes.
Yeah, that's how you advertise yourself.
Yep, just showing her boobies. Showing her boobies.
And that was one of many people that we got on there and flashed. Now, there was no rules about nudity or profanity or obscenity, but it was...
But you'd think that a society...
Decorum.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. That happens in New York. That crap would never happen in Tokyo.
No, that's true.
That would never happen in Tokyo.
But that's it. So it's a societal thing in both sides of Ireland and the U.S.?
Yes.
So that's what you got to do. You got to move it to Tokyo.
That's what you should. They'd be standing there bowing.
Yes, they'd be very polite.
Exactly. I tried OnlyFans for a bit.
As a customer or a presenter?
Well, the house was getting too hot, so I turned on the AC. I cracked myself up.
If you've ever wanted to learn a new language, make 2024 the year with Babbel. Babbel's 10-minute lessons are perfect for those learning on a tight schedule. Each lesson is handcrafted by their experts and based on real-life conversations. Babbel's tips and tools make it easy for anyone to start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. I recently took a trip to Japan. Before I signed up with Babbel, so I was able to say hello, konnichiwa, thank you, arigato, and the very important, where's the bathroom? Tori dewa doko desu ka? So fun, so easy. Right now, Babbel has an exclusive limited-time deal just for my listeners. Get up to 60% off your subscription at Babbel.com/Kim. That's right. Commando listeners get up to 60% off. Just visit Babbel.com/Kim. That's Babbel. Babbel.com/Kim. Rules and restrictions may apply. Babbel.com/Kim. Don't miss the 60% off deal. Babbel.com/Kim.
Hey, it's Kim Commando today. We are so glad that you're here with us because otherwise, well, it would just be me and Andrew. And while I'm very entertaining.
Yeah, so I would just be sitting here getting so entertained by Kim. Thank goodness you're able to partake in the benefits I receive every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
I'm just so
generous.
I'm so here. Something, isn't it? It's just something.
It's something.
Just a quick reminder, if you want to get the Kim Commando show, you can get the show on your local radio station. You can also get it at Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And we are in a ratings time, so in case you're wondering why I keep saying
push,
that.
Push.
Just turn on your local radio for just a little while.
Keep radio alive.
Yes, we need you to do that. So we saw Chat GPT 4.0.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, you know what? I wonder what Chat GPT 5.0 is going to look like.
Already? We're already working on 5.0?
So you know who I asked?
Who?
Chat GPT 4.0.
Oh, and what did they say?
Look at this.
That's ridiculous.
A whole bunch of stuff. More natural conversations. It's going to be even more like talking to a human.
We're going to show a video in a second. We're already seeing that, and it's amazing.
It's going to have more humor, sarcasm, and expressions.
I already see that already. I agree with that.
More adaptive tones, so that if you speak to it professionally, it'll speak professionally back. So it's going to be more contextual.
Okay. No, it's audience, basically.
Yes, it's going to have more awareness.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long-term memory. So it's going to remember what you shared with it over previous sessions in the past.
Oh, that would be interesting, right? If you type something in and it's like, hey, if you remember back in December, you already asked this, and this is the answer I gave you. Were you looking for something different? That would be kind of cool.
Great. Now you just told me I'm getting old. Hate when that happens. It's like, it happens to Barry a lot.
Well, we're not going to go there.
I know.
You don't have to.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's I help him. It's not like I just
You're so kind.
I just, what I did? I put air tags on everything.
What are the things that he loses that he needs air tags on? I mean, I have my one on my wallet. That one makes sense.
Yeah, he's got a wallet.
Yeah. Keys?
Both keys, briefcases, luggage, in his car.
He's lost his car. That may be an issue.
His pants. Just kidding about the pants. Not really. Let's see. Personal interactions. It says multimodal capabilities. Multimodal. What do you think multimodal capabilities?
I have no idea. Is that it's going to be everywhere? Like it'll be in your toaster and it'll be in your fridge and it'll be
actually,
in
you know what? You just wait. It's coming to that too.
But is that what that multimodal means?
No, it says it's going to have more integration of images, audio, and video.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to generate video content and video outputs based on text descriptions. So
it doesn't already do that.
Well, if you say how does the toaster work?
Okay.
It's going to say, oh, here, let me show you a video.
Gotcha. But it's going to then create it instead of find it.
YouTube.
Yeah.
How-tos. Right?
You are so dooming the rest of the internet right now.
No, I'm just being honest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you start thinking, you have to think out of the box on this. You have to. Otherwise, you're just going to get left behind.
Is there any way it fails?
Yeah, because it hallucinates. It gets wrong information.
So if it gains a reputation, if we just can't trust it, even though it does all this amazing stuff, then it would fail.
It's going to be interesting to see how it handles politics.
It shouldn't. It really shouldn't.
Could you imagine it right now?
No, because you ask ChatGPT, at least the free one right now, it's like, well, I'm not up to date enough on that information. I can't tell you who to vote for or who's running. But at some point, it will be up to date.
I still like when I asked Gemini for a Bible verse,
and
it said, "This is too sensitive of a topic."
The Bible's pretty sensitive.
I mean, it is.
It's controversial.
And it also said, and then because of copyright notices, we are unable to talk about the Bible.
Sure.
Yeah. Not sure that God has, really enforced a lot of copyright notices. Don't talk about that.
Don't. It's controversial.
It's coming down.
So I found this video
yes,
online of one of the new features of ChatGPT 4.0.
Yes.
Why though? I don't get it.
This wants to be different.
It's so stupid. What if they make another variation of 4? Is it going to be 4R? 4P? Okay. And it was a tutor interaction between ChatGPT and a teen.
Right.
When you watch the video, and if you're listening to the podcast, you don't need to worry about it. You'll be able to follow it. Listen to the audio and the voice of the ChatGPT.
Okay.
And how it's communicating with the child.
It's phenomenal. Now, you know who the guy is.
Well, thank you. It's my spoiler.
Oh, okay. Then I'm not going to tell you.
Watch the video.
Which sides of the triangle are the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse relative to angle alpha?
All right. So I'm pretty sure this is the angle alpha right here, right?
Perfect. That's correct. Now, looking at the triangle, which side do you think is the hypotenuse?
This next line that ChatGPT
Really,
is the coolest part.
I'm not totally sure. I think it might be this one, but I really am not sure. This side AC.
You're close. Actually, side AC is called the adjacent side to the angle alpha.
So obviously it wasn't close. He had the wrong side of the triangle, but it was supposed to be a tutor. It was acting like a tutor. So it was very supportive and positive.
And happy.
Yes. And the guy sitting there next to the child being tutored, he owns the Khan Academy, which is the nation's biggest tutoring franchise. He is looking at the thing that's going to make his business obsolete.
Yep.
And now I don't know if he sees it that way. I don't know if he's saying, well, we'll integrate ourselves and we'll work out a deal. But he's staring down the barrel of him having no future.
So I was in a meeting yesterday, And Barry says to the person that we're having the meeting with, says, on the way over here, Kim said something that was just brilliant, just a genius material.
See how he talks about you, and you're here telling us he can't find his own pants? Go ahead.
He is so smart. If he wasn't smart, I wouldn't have married him. You know that. He is smart.
I'm just
okay. And here's the thing about him. He knows a lot about a lot of things.
Right.
I mean, I could just say like, oh, look at this old telephone. He'd be like, oh, well, that's the model
Right.
from this. And, my great-great-grandmother had one of those. And we used to call. And I'm like, okay. And my phone number was, and he remembers everything. That's the problem, though. When somebody remembers everything. Because you can't have a fight with him.
Well, you can. You'll just be wrong.
I know. Because he's like, oh, well, you said that in September. I'm like, oh, my God.
So what did you say that was so smart?
The problem that OpenAI and all these companies are having right now is that they are scaring people. They are frightening people. They are not presenting their technology in a warm and comforting way.
Well, that's just what I said before, was the way it fails is if we don't trust it. And with this version of ChatGPT and how kind and soft and human the voice is, that's going to take a huge step forward because Siri, even Siri was amazing when Siri came out, but Siri's still hard. It's stiff.
Well, they want her to sound like Scarlett Johansson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's on
from
purpose.
Her, that movie, Her.
Okay. But let's go back in time. Okay. Is that, let's say we were in the late 1800s and we're living in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we were in a walk-up. And so maybe there's 4 flights of stairs. And the poor people, they actually lived on the upper floors because you had to walk all the stairs to get to the top. So now we put in elevators. So in the big buildings, people are kind of freaked out about getting in an elevator. So in order to get them in the elevator, they have to have an elevator person.
Right.
Okay. So that made people feel more comfortable to get inside the elevator. And all that's going fine and dandy. People are getting more comfortable with the elevators. And then they decide, you know what? We need to get rid of the elevator operators. People are going to use the elevators anyway.
Right.
Nope. They didn't. They didn't get in the elevators. They were afraid of the elevators. So they're like, okay, well, we have to come up with something to get the people in the elevators. That's why you have the big red button. Stop.
Oh, okay. It's just a security thing.
So they put the big red stop button in the elevator, and people are like, okay, I'm okay to get in the elevator. And all of a sudden they're getting in the elevator. We don't have the elevator operators anymore, and everything's going really fine. That's what we don't have with this. Don't have the big red stop button.
Meaning the stop of advancement, the stop of where it's going to go, how smart the technology will be.
Yes. And how do we make it not kill us?
Right.
I mean, I know that sounds really hard to hear, but we are developing technology that that a lot of it was in the 60s in Star Trek, right?
Are you still afraid of it?
I'm not going to be around when it happens.
Okay.
I think it's going to happen.
Now that's an interesting statement. When it happens,
yes,
that it's inevitable that it will happen.
It will happen because you have nations that cannot agree with each other. Nations that have really powerful weapons that will be even more powerful because we're going to have AI develop them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have people who are in charge of the AI with, bad intentions. And so how do you make that? So now we have people going, oh, I'm going to go to Washington and we're going to have these committees and we're going to set up a UN.
I don't know. I think we're also human beings, and that all we do is we fight to survive all the time. I think we will unplug it before we let it destroy us.
I still think we need the big red button.
All right. It'll just be a pretty button that won't do anything anyway. It's just to make you happy.
Maybe I should just start an OnlyFans account. It's all going to go downhill anyway.
What does it matter?
And I got to do it before these cupcakes,
Show off them feet, Kim.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.